everybody. Welcome to another edition of Dave C's G.I. Joe Commentary. In today's episode, we're going to talk about this guy. The 1989 Cobra Night Viper. Here's a card back here that unfortunately doesn't have a bubble on it or a figure inside, but I enjoy having these as well because they're almost as good as having a mint-on card, because they're right from that time period. And this is one of my favorite Cobra Army builders, or troopers in general, just because I think the subdued color scheme is really cool, and just a really neat figure. The idea that Cobra has night fighters that would have infrared technology and use that is pretty neat, and the artwork itself is pretty cool. But yeah, this card back was from Simpsons. That's a store up here in Canada. I'm pretty sure they were down in the States too, but they're not around anymore up here. I'm not sure if they're still around down there. But back then in 1989 it was $4.49. And I'll flip this card back around and we can read this guy's file card. So here's the card back here. It's flipped around. And I remember as a young man reading this and finding it kind of humorous, so it'll be kind of fun to read this again. It reads as follows. Codename Night Viper. Cobra Night Fighter. Night Vipers are always in training and never see daylight. They live in windowless barracks with no interior lights. They spend most of their time trying to sneak up on each other. All you have to do to knock one out is to shine a flashlight in his face and burn out his sensors. The problem is, you have to find one first. They first appear in Marvel issue 94. That's a December 1989 issue, and it's on page 13 in a bottom panel. You can see them there, and they're aiding Baroness on a mission. And then they're also on page 17. And page 24, they're involved in a gunfight, and Baroness actually has them going after Scarlet. And final panel they're shown in the issue, there's one standing right beside Baroness after she actually finds Scarlet. But I'm not going to spoil how that one ends. A pretty cool guy that I know from Instagram is Matt Mylar, and he's from Nova Scotia, and he agreed to send a photo of a Night Viper that he has taken. He's actually known quite well in the G.I. Joe community for setting up dioramas and taking photos of 1980s G.I. Joe box art, vehicles, and individual figures. And here's the photo here that he sent for this video. It's of a 1989 Night Viper, as you can see. And he's a really talented guy, very artistic. And he shoots with practical effects, lighting, and atmosphere to achieve an amazing final shot. And I'm going to include a little bit of some of his work. And here's a little video of some of the stuff that he's done. A Night Raven in particular is just out of this world. Here's a few seconds of that. Another interesting conversation I had with Matt was about how me and him talked about how we would ride our BMX bikes down to the corner store in the 80s, and our parents would give us an allowance. And it's kind of funny because obviously I didn't know Matt when he was growing up. He was over there, and I was over here in Ontario. But we're pretty much the same age, so GI Joe is totally in our wheelhouse. But yeah, anyway, so we would ride our BMX to the corner store, and we would take our allowance that we had gotten, like $2 a week, and at the end of the month, we'd have enough to buy the latest GI Joe comic that came out that month, a chocolate bar, and a pop. And on Instagram, we had a nice little talk about that, and that was pretty cool. Here's a closer look at the figure, and he comes with some really cool accessories. One of them is his gun, that on the packaging says it's a gun with a night scope, and here it is here, and it actually attaches to his leg, which is a neat feature. And if you take it off, you can see that it looks like a shotgun with a scope on it, which would be a pretty intimidating weapon for close quarters combat from room to room, to say. And also on the package it says he comes with night vision goggles. I'm not quite sure what that was intended to be, because if you look at his visor, it actually comes with this really awesome two-piece night scope set, and you can see his visor there. It flips up and down. You can see his eyes. And a lot of times, if you find a Night Viper on the aftermarket, this little tab here is broken off, so you kind of got to be careful when you pop that back on there. And then he also came with a backpack, and on the backpack is an antenna here, and also what looks like a knife handle, which the knife is not actually retractable, but it gives you the idea that he would be able to quickly pull out a knife for hand-to-hand combat, which is pretty neat. And here's a close look at his arm patch. See if we can get in focus. And I think it's a really cool patch, and it has a skull and a sword and some lightning bolts. And I actually have a mini poster down here of it. Down here in the pit on the wall, because I like the design so much. And it's in the same color scheme as the Cobra logo on his chest, kind of a light green. And I heard a Gulf War vet and a Joe collector alike say that the light green patches on this figure are actually based on military insignia during night battles that he was involved in. Same type of patches, same coloring, and they would actually glow quite brightly when seen through night scopes, and it would kind of aid in the view of friendlies, so you wouldn't be targeting your own guys. I really like this figure because of his subdued coloring. Like I said before, the green color and the black and the light green really set the figure off and actually make it quite a cool figure. And out of the 1989 Cobra troops, including the Heat Viper, Frag, and Alley Viper, this one here is maybe more realistic military approach, whereas the others are maybe more of a sci-fi approach with the coloring. Heat Viper is like a bright yellow, and Frag Viper has kind of a sci-fi weapon where he throws frag grenades. I don't know if that was based on anything or not, but yeah. So, and then Alley Vipers were just super bright. So they're all neat figures in themselves, but the design of this figure had fans really excited about them. I have a few of them down here in the pit, 4 actually, and this particular figure I would like to get more of because I think they look really cool, but that's how I have them displayed on a shelf down here in the pit. So that's all the time we have for today's episode. I'd just like to thank Matt Mylar again for sending that awesome photograph of the 1989 Night Viper. And I really appreciated having that on the show today. And okay, so we'll catch everybody next time. See ya.
And we're the MCs, like lightning and thunder. We're knocking down trees while sucking DJs are busting out Z's. My man Jam Mac is scratching hardcore C's. So I got you listen, or you won't be missing the cuts and the scratching bass, treble and the missing. The frost and the power coming hour after hour. So get up off the wall, don't you be a wallflower. Your master jamming, through with C, your master jam. His head so swift, his eyes so sly, his cut so fresh and our rhyme so fly. Sound so good that you can't pass by. As if you can't deny, and I tell no lie.